Ladies and gentlemen, picture this: a nation on the brink, where the simple act of checking your mailbox becomes a symbol of chaos unraveling across an entire country. Flyers that once buzzed with deals and community news now gather dust in warehouses. Businesses scramble in desperation, and families stare at empty doorsteps, wondering when their vital packages will arrive. This isn't some far-fetched thriller. It's the gripping reality gripping Canada today, as a postal strike ignites a firestorm of labor unrest, exposing cracks in the system and putting Prime Minister Mark Carney squarely in the hot seat. If you've ever felt the frustration of delayed deliveries or economic uncertainty, this story will hit home hard. Join me as we unravel the drama, the demands, and the dire warnings of what's to come. Because this crisis isn't just about mail. It's about the soul of a nation fighting for fairness. Stick around. You won't believe how deep this goes and what it means for your daily life. At the core of this escalating saga is the fierce standoff between Canada Post and the Canadian Union of Postal Workers, CUPW, championing the rights of 55,000 tireless employees who keep our connections alive through every storm and season. These workers, the backbone of our communication network, have drawn a line in the sand. Without a return to genuine negotiations, their actions will only intensify. Come Monday, the delivery of flyers and direct mail grinds to a halt, a bold escalation designed to jolt the powers that be into action. CUPW's voice rings out clear and resolute. We crave negotiation. We demand contracts that are fair, equitable, and worthy of ratification. We envision a robust postal service that truly uplifts the public. They're urging Canada Post to re-engage with the gravity this deserves, decrying tactics like arbitrary shifts in working conditions, unjust penalties on members, and blows to public services. Flashback to past conflicts, layoffs slashed deep, benefits evaporated, and essential deliveries faltered. If patterns hold, bolder measures await, potentially crippling the flow of mail nationwide and sending shockwaves through every household. Canada Post, caught off guard, voiced dismay at learning of the flyer ban via a press briefing, highlighting the fallout for countless businesses that thrive on mailing campaigns to entice customers with timely info and irresistible offers. Beyond commerce, it strikes at the heart of CUPW workers' earnings, as flyer deliveries supplement their base pay. Yet, this is merely the tip of a colossal iceberg. Canada faces a whirlwind crisis accelerating beyond control, with its postal lifeline frayed and on the verge of snapping. By halting commercial flyers and neighborhood distributions, workers have thrust businesses into turmoil, leaving citizens adrift without parcels or updates. Enter Prime Minister Mark Carney, the former financial maestro now ensnared in a web of criticism as the economy wavers precariously. But wait, it's not isolated to mail carriers. Airline crews, educators, healthcare heroes, and even food bank supporters are embroiled in disputes, painting a portrait of widespread disarray. From transit halts to classroom walkouts and families turning to food banks in unprecedented numbers, a tempest of labor strife brews, amplified by soaring inflation and a government accused of standing idle. Envision the domino effect. Airline strikes ground flights. Teachers' unions rally for change in regions like Alberta. Nurses battle for better shifts amid hospital strains, and critical sectors like transport and infrastructure teeter. This isn't coincidence. It's a symphony of discontent, where everyday Canadians shoulder the heaviest load. In this episode, we dissect the Canada Post upheaval, its toll on enterprises and individuals, Carney's alleged bungling that's fanning the flames, and economists' grim forecasts of economic tremors echoing far and wide. The strike erupted with force, halting flyer and neighborhood mail flows, a move that transcends minor annoyance. For retailers, these are revenue rockets, sparking sales booms and knitting communities tighter. Now, that's all frozen, unleashing pandemonium. CUPW, after 18 grueling months of talks, stands firm. Fair wages, hazard-free environments, and acknowledgement of their burdensome loads are non-negotiable. Union President Jan Simpson captures the essence. This fight is for dignity and endurance. Workers lug hefty, oversized bundles that tax bodies and blur work-home boundaries, all sans fair recompense. Despite pleas, Carney's regime is lambasted for apathy, letting tensions simmer unchecked and shirking the push for resolution at the table. The delays have festered, compelling the union to amp up pressure, and now supply chains choke, goods stack up undelivered. Canada Post bleeds red ink. A staggering $47 million quarterly deficit pinned on negotiation fog and parcel dips. Companies pivot to pricey couriers or forfeit sales, while citizens lament the breakdown of basics. No flyers mean disrupted info flows, but it's the vanishing reliability of services that stings most. Union ire peaks. The overtime prohibition lifts, flyer stoppage enforces, and Simpson signals more if dawdling persists. Carney, detractors claim, dodges accountability, overwhelmed and wishing for divine intervention instead of bold steps. This vacuum of leadership escalates risks by the hour. This postal turmoil intertwines with a national uprising. Healthcare halls echo with nurses' calls for equity, transit lines buzz with contract demands, and Alberta's classrooms edge toward shutdowns. Recent stirrings in other fields underscore the momentum. It's a cascade of worker solidarity, with Canada as the stage for this epic confrontation. Carney navigates a maelstrom of his crafting, pelted by rebukes from all sides. Rather than broker peace and innovate fixes, he's sidelined, fueling the blaze. Hot-button topics abound. Pensions face overhauls for newcomers, deemed unjust. Entry wages at $21.80 hourly scrape by in high-cost spots like Whitehorse, with rents devouring paychecks. Rookies endure 9 to 10 years for stability, many leaning on food banks as paltry 2% bumps lag 25% inflation. Housing woes compound, pushing for sector par wages. Delivery revamps loom large. The separate sort and delivery push mandates full shift outdoor trudges, 8 hours versus 6, in January's bone-chilling minus 30 degrees Celsius on slick paths. Pandemic-era back-to-work laws twice quash strikes, with extensions promising equity later. Now's that reckoning. Consensus exists on postal longevity, yet chasms divide paths forward. Union's verdict, talks stall, demanding earnest commitment or face escalation. Queries abound on governmental lethargy over 18 months, with Carney faulted for amplifying woes via neglect, birthing strikes from bottled rage. Consequences cascade, businesses bleed patrons, healthcare lags, commutes snag. It's a tapestry of systemic decay where daily pillars wobble. Unions have pleaded reason, only to encounter procrastination and pretexts, risking Canada's inward collapse. Fury mounts among workers, inflation gnaws deeper, citizens endure the fallout. Their rallying cry, equitable compensation, secure settings, esteem, or we'll act. Carney appears detached, fixated on spreadsheets over souls, morphing squabbles into cataclysms. Nationwide, resolve steals as services sputter, prompting, how sustainable without a lifeline? The walkout ignited post-midnight deadlock, 55,000 strong exiting posts over bad faith claims. Mail lags, parcels idle, offices shutter amid pleas for inflation-sync pay, security, safety, temp perks. As endurance tests mount, Ottawa's trapped. Year-plus negotiations yield zilch, hemorrhaging millions in doubt. Mediators grind, divides persist. For folks, hassles accrue, exorbitant reroutes for firms, docks in limbo for homes. Tolerance frays as unions slam erratic governance, forceful then aloof. Labor laws arm resolution, yet botched deployment spurs surges. Carney's politically besieged, foes query his grip on vitals. Each snag spotlights pressure, pundits predict growth stalls, investment chills, economic havoc. Sectors like health, transit, schools monitor, primed to surge if snubbed. Tense deadlock. Must finesse talks, curb harm, affirm continuity. Blunders could explode strife. Query, how expansive? Cup was fresh bid, 9% year one spike for percent next, 3% thereafter, topping prior 13% quadrennial. Permits weekends, part-timers. Review underway. Sessions loom. Unions vow amplification, broader halts, stricter adherence. Firms tally deficits, services erratic, existence upended profoundly. Doom shadows, regime pressured, populace craves normalcy. Intermediaries toil, yet upheavals stoke angst. Forthcoming defines labor ethos. Winds stabilize, flops amplify, chains react. Fragility bared. Handling seals fissures or cements them. Choices burden, watchers endure strain. Broadly, gloom envelopes as woes multiply. Strikes upend multitudes, slowdowns pervasive, peers escalation. Carney's stewardship dissected, Air Canada mishap redux. Tardy moves, overlooked alerts, mayhem. Daily inaction digs deeper, economy quakes. Command crucial, his lapses may etch legacy, mold steadiness ends. Not mere resolution, but halting doom's march. That's our riveting exploration from Zone Media Network. I'm Griffin, swing by American Zone for U.S. scoops. Catch me there occasionally. Like sub, chime in below. It fuels us. Grateful for your